only have a couple more days out here. And that kind of shows the ending to camp and it really begins. So we'll start kind of that next phase of what it is we do next week. But we'll still be out here where we're captive for 24 hours and no internet and no Wi-Fi and challenging those guys in some different ways other than just on the football field.
How do you feel about where the team is right now, Coach?
I feel good. I think that some of the little injury things that we got to work on and get back, and we really got to figure out who those guys we're going to play with and count on. I think that's what today was about, to see what wide receivers were going to kind of show up and have an opportunity to make some plays, and the one tackle spot that we really needed to kind of see who would come out here and try to make it as game-like as we possibly could and put some pressure on them to see how they would handle it. And but I feel really good. I know the leadership of this team, and I know what Desmond and those guys can do offensively. It doesn't worry me. I just don't want to make sure that where you have a couple turnovers and things, you don't win the scrimmage, you don't lose any confidence in what you're doing.
Do you have an update on Blue? He's on the sideline today.
I'm hoping we get him back here starting next week. It's one of those foot things that you don't know exactly how long it's going to take, and we've got another one with Arquan that you just don't know exactly how long those things are going to take. You have a knee injury, you scope it, whatever it is, you're pretty standard on the 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks, and some of these foot issues and toe issues, it's kind of in the air.
I want to ask about Mike Warren specifically. How much do you think this team is going to lean on him? He was so productive last year. How much, as a coach, do you think you'll lean on?
We lean on Mike not just for his ability to run the football, but his energy he provides. And when you don't go live, it hurts nobody but Mike Warren. People would say, well, that's good for the running backs. No, it's actually not good for the running backs, because for us to be who we are, Mike's got to not just be running the football, but he's the energy provider. Dez is the mind and what he does at the quarterback position, but those big guys up front really love to hear Mike and see Mike in a lot of different ways. And I showed a clip this morning of what's so impressive about Mike and some of the things that he does. It wasn't running the football. It was the other night on a screen pass that they took away that Dez scrambled on, and Mike ran 35 yards down the field and had 2 blocks and outran everybody. It's things like that that you can't see sometimes here in the naked eye, but that energy that he provides, I took away a little bit today in some of the stipulations I put on.
After watching film of this, do you expect to be where you want to be at right tackle? Have a number one guy?
I got to go watch the film. I think that it's hard to make a judgment just standing here off the, when things don't jump out at you. I know we had a couple false starts is one of those things. I know that, as a young guy in there, whether it's Metz or it's Vinny McConnell, we'll have to be smart about some of the things that we do, and that's where it comes into a little bit more game planning. Right now, we're just trying to make sure that they can, really do the things that we've always done and we want to hang our hat on. And then when you start to get specific, you got to figure out ways that you can help the guys you need help.
At safety, is Hicks coming along as one of those 1B guys?
Yeah, he is, and I think it's really the last 5 practices. He's really kind of matured. Since the day he walked in, I thought he had a lot of ability. He was a wide receiver. He was a DB. The first year, he was just kind of a raw kid. Last year, I thought that he would, be more productive in a lot of things. He got hurt, even through the spring. I just had these expectations for him. And the last 5 or 6 practices, he's right. I don't know if there's a drop off in any way. I know we're pretty strong with Derek and James. But you don't miss anything. So you might even pick up some speed and some athleticism in some ways when he's in there.
Wide receiver, is there somebody separating at that W spot?
I don't know. The thing that they've been doing is mixing all those guys around. Now that we get into where we are, it comes down to putting those guys in those positions so they can kind of understand the more the what and the whys. It's kind of like saying Joel DeBlanco's playing Will, he's playing Mike, he's playing all over the place. Now as we go into game week, we got to give him an opportunity to be the best at what he does and getting into a groove and understanding the position. And I think that's the same thing with Jay Sean and Pierce and Rashad's kind of been in a similar spot. But even Trey Tucker as a young guy, a little bit doing more things with. We've got a different group of guys there doing what they do well.
How'd the surgeries go for Woodside and Blake?
All says good, but now it's on to the next step of how long, how far will you get them by the end of the year. Obviously Blake is probably enough in Woodside. There's still one of those little more of the unknowns by the very end of the season. But those guys are such positive people that no matter what we want to try to find a way to take them on every trip with us and everything we do, just because they're a huge part of what our team and our program. They might not be able to play on the field, but they provide a lot of other things.
Thank you, guys.